It's time for the perfect blend of business and politics. The Chamber Business Hour, brought to you by the North Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. And here's your host, North Scottsdale Chamber Executive Director, Joe Galley.
All right, we're back with another edition of Chamber Business Hour. We appreciate you tuning in. That's right, Diamond Dave, all excited back there. I'm excited right here because we've got a great program for you on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. So thanks for tuning in to Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. My name is Joe Galley. I'm the host of the program. I'm also the executive director of the North Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. And we're located right at the Raintree exit of the 101 freeway in North Scottsdale. And we appreciate you tuning into our program. We use this program to do a couple things. One is to provide our members an opportunity to talk to you about what it is that they do. So some business exposure for our members. We've got two very exciting guests in this front half of the program. And then on the back half of the program, we partner with the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And their president and CEO, Glenn Hammer, is going to be with us at the bottom of the hour. And we'll talk to Glenn about all the wonderful things that are going on at the Arizona Capitol. The new updated debate, I guess, with the governor on Medicaid expansion and reform and so forth. And we'll get the business community's perspective on those wonderful issues, healthcare, jobs, all sorts of things related to the economy. Right now with us in studio is Richard Luehring with the Southwest Group. Richard, thanks for being on Chamber Business Hour.
I'm very glad to be here.
Very good. Well, the Southwest Group, by that name, a lot of people wouldn't know what that is, but we know because you're a great member with the North Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. We see it at a lot of our events. We appreciate your membership, and we know that you're a private detective, I should say, and you've been in that industry for a while now.
Yes, I have. I've been in the business essentially over 30 years, taking and providing information and services to other businesses, corporations, to attorneys, and, of course, the private individual.
Okay, so a lot of people would think, private eye, I might only need this if I think my spouse might be, dilly-dallying behind my back, or I want to, spy on my neighbor for some reason because I think he's coming in my backyard, maybe taking my pool, maybe taking chlorine out of my pool shed. Who knows? But what's the reality when it comes to businesses? There are a lot of needs that businesses have. A lot of people don't realize where your services can apply.
Absolutely. Most of the businesses, as you know, the biggest bulk of business, especially in our organization with the North Scottsdale Chamber, are small to mid-sized businesses. And they cannot typically afford to take and have a loss prevention or security department to assist them with whatever issue that they have. And that's where the Southwest Group comes into effect. My background is predominantly in the corporate field, and I can take that expertise that I have to help them in areas of loss prevention, employee awareness, and employees are their biggest asset that any business has, be it a small business or a big business. And it costs money to take and have those employees, to hire them, to help maintain them. And we offer services that will help that employer in those areas. For an example, we do background investigations on pre-employment screens. We can help an employer out. Just recently in the news, there's a story about a couple of hotels down in the East Valley that failed to do background investigations on an employee. Turns out that employee is a convicted and registered sex offender, and he has been charged with alleged rapes that occurred. And unfortunately, the attitude of one of the business owners was that we don't do background investigations. Well, I'm sure that he's going to be doing background investigations now, considering the exposure he has, and no company can afford not to. And it also helps you take and get a better quality employee when you know more about them. And when their references are just friends and relatives, you're going to get excellent references. But through a thorough background investigation, depending upon their position, you're going to have more information that you need to make a good decision on that hiring process.
Richard Luehring is with us on Chamber Business Hour. My name is Joe Galley. I'm the host. I'm the executive director of the North Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. Richard is with the Southwest Group. And how would you describe the Southwest Group? So if I said you're a group of private detectives and investigators, is that correct?
Correct. I have a series of associates who are specialists. They are experienced, credentialed, and certified in their particular area of expertise that we take and call on to help any client with what they need. We provide services, like I said, in pre-employment. We also do polygraph investigations for specific losses. We do what's called security audits and surveys of businesses. We also take and work with attorneys when they need expert witnesses in criminal cases. One of my newest associates is a former law enforcement officer who is nationally recognized and certified now to take and do what we call forensic reviews of law enforcement reports, especially important in attorneys doing defense work. He is also a nationally recognized sex crimes and rape investigator and talks to different aspects in that avenue. I have a couple other people who are, again, like I said, are very good with other technical areas of security. And, again, I take my corporate background into it where we help with policy and procedure development and anything that a company would need.
What about security audits? That was an interesting one for me that you mentioned. I know you mentioned loss prevention, employees in terms of background checks, polygraphs if necessary, expert witness testimony in defense, particular cases, and then forensic reviews of police department reports and so forth as it relates to certain incidents. But security audits I found interesting. Talk a bit about security audits.
A lot of businesses are very good at the business that they are in, but they don't have the eye for what it needs for security. Do you need video surveillance on your premises? What type of an alarm system do you have? What are your locks and keys? What type of controls do you have? We take and look at physical security of your business. We also look at the internal operations of a business, from roof to floor, from wall to wall, whatever you want to call it. You may have a good process going on initially with, let's say you're a retailer, with how you order and how you bring things in. But the National Retail Federation says that over 80% of a retail operation shrinkage is directly related to employees.
Wow.
And it's not necessarily employee theft, but it is something that they may be doing in the process that you're not aware of that is creating a shrinkage or a problem within your organization, and hence you're losing profits through that. So we come in and take a complete look at your organization, and we give you guidance and assistance wherever you can.
Richard Luehring, Southwest Group. How about an address and a phone number? I'll let you give that out.
Absolutely. We are now located in North Scottsdale, just north of Scottsdale and Shea at 11111. That's 5 ones, North Scottsdale Road, Suite 205. We are on the corner of Mescal and Scottsdale Road, and we're right behind the Macayos. So after you come in and visit us, you can go over and have a margarita and some chips and salsa and digest the work that we've taken and given you. Our phone number to get hold of us is 480-947-4717.
480-947-4717, swgroupinvestigations.com.
That is correct.
Okay, swgroupinvestigations.com. Richard Luehring with the Southwest Group. Very interesting stuff that you do. I think a lot of people, when they hear what it is that you operate in terms of your business, it's a little, you're like, oh, I only need that if I'm in a really bad personal situation. But the reality is that your services are very broad and can be applied to just about everyone's everyday business life. And they include things like loss prevention, for small retailers maybe that don't have, the means to have an in-house loss prevention team. Of course, security audits. I thought that was a great explanation just of the basic needs of a business, not just externally but internally too. And then, expert witnesses and those sorts of things are very interesting what you do.
Yes, it's very diverse and interesting. And one of the things that we're coming up to in cooperation with the North Scottsdale Chamber, you have a lunch and learn session, which we are going to be making a presentation to here upcoming. And it's going to deal with workplace violence. I think we have to talk about that in a way that we can, because we all know what to do when we hear the horn go off for a fire alarm. But what do we do when we hear gunshots off in our building or nearby? How do we react to that? This has been an issue that I've dealt with corporately for going on over 10 years. And I think this information needs to be translated out, just thinking of some of the things that have happened of recent here in
we had a few in the Phoenix area, very sad circumstances, and that should be coming up. So look at our website for more from Richard Luehring, Southwest Group. Richard, thanks for being on Chamber Business Hour.
Appreciate being here. I really enjoyed it.
Very good. Well, we'll have you for our Lunch and Learn coming up. You can find out more about that at www.northscottsdalechamber.org. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.